Some wounds are not visible. They don't leave bruises or scars on your skin, but they live deep in the nervous system, shaping your thoughts, your self-worth, and the way you show up in your life. Emotional abuse, particularly at the hands of someone with narcissistic traits, can be one of the most draining experiences a person survives. It doesn't always look violent. Sometimes it's quiet. It hides in gaslighting, manipulation, withdrawal of affection, and a constant loop of confusion. This video is not about revenge. It's not about hurting the one who hurt you. It's about seeing clearly, choosing peace over chaos, and taking back the emotional energy that was stolen from you. It's about learning how to dismantle the structure that a narcissist depends on, one conscious choice at a time. And more importantly, it's about rebuilding a self so solid, so centered, that no manipulation can touch it again. What follows is a practical, yet deeply emotional roadmap for anyone who has felt small, silenced, or shattered in a toxic dynamic. It is both a warning and a liberation call. You can stop playing the game. You can walk away, not in bitterness, but in quiet strength. 1. The fuel that keeps them alive. Narcissists are not driven by love. They are driven by attention, by emotional control, and by being the center of someone else's psychological universe. They feed off your reactions, every tear, every argument, every over-explanation you give them. Every time you try to make sense of what they said, analyze their silence, or seek closure from them, you're unknowingly feeding a system designed to keep you trapped. They don't need your affection. They need your emotional energy. That's the fuel. It doesn't matter if it comes in the form of love or pain. As long as you're reacting, you're giving them power. The moment you stop playing your part in this cycle, the fixer, the pleaser, the one who always tries harder, they begin to crumble. You don't need to scream. You don't need to prove your point. Just stop responding the way you always have. That shift alone begins the collapse of their illusion. 2. Choosing silence over struggle. Silence is not weakness. It's power. It's choosing not to participate in dysfunction. When a narcissist no longer controls your responses, they panic, because confusion is their weapon. Clarity is their enemy. When you detach emotionally, when you no longer rush to defend yourself, apologize first, or decode their passive-aggressive jabs, you are sending a message louder than any confrontation. You're no longer willing to be part of the madness. This doesn't mean you don't care. It means you finally care more about yourself. It means peace has become a higher priority than being understood by someone who never had the capacity to understand you. That kind of silence, it's not passive, it's revolutionary. 3. Emotional clarity is the narcissist's kryptonite. For a long time, confusion may have felt normal. Being caught in cycles of arguments that never resolve, doubting your reality, questioning your worth. That was the design. Narcissists don't want resolution. They want repetition, because repetition keeps them in control. So, the greatest act of rebellion is to refuse to engage in that loop again. Stop trying to get closure from someone who gains power from keeping you confused. Don't ask them to explain what they meant. Don't dig into why they suddenly went cold. Let the silence speak. When you no longer allow their chaos to invade your peace, you shift the dynamic completely. You're no longer inside their emotional system. You've created your own, and they have no access to it. 4. Building boundaries without announcing them. Boundaries don't have to be shouted. They don't have to be posted or justified. The strongest ones are lived. A narcissist expects you to beg, to chase, to crumble. But when you don't, when you stay grounded and choose not to engage, they don't know what to do. They're used to controlling your emotional thermostat. When you stop giving them that power, they spiral. This kind of calm is not cold. It's centered. It's the kind of energy that doesn't react to guilt trips, manipulation, or rage. You're not absorbing anymore. You're just observing. An observation without emotional investment, that's how the cycle ends. Every time you resist the urge to explain yourself to someone who has no intention of hearing you, you strengthen your boundary. Every moment you stay grounded while they twist your words, you reinforce your emotional maturity. And eventually, they're left screaming into a void they can't fill. 5. When you choose peace, you break the game. A narcissist can only exist in emotional chaos. It's where they thrive. It's how they maintain power. They create storms so you'll forget you have the power to walk away. When you stop reacting, stop explaining, and start prioritizing your peace, the entire system they built around you starts to crack. You're no longer responsible for managing their dysfunction. You're responsible for your own peace, your own clarity, your own joy. This is not numbness. This is wisdom. You've learned what their games look like, and now you choose not to play. 6. The quiet strength of indifference. Nothing wounds a narcissist more than being irrelevant, not hated, not yelled at, just irrelevant, because their identity depends on being central to yours. Radical indifference isn't pretending not to care. It's truly not needing anything from them. Not their approval, not their apology, not their acknowledgement. You're not cold, you're free. This level of emotional distance is what breaks their illusion of power. You don't chase them anymore. You don't monitor their behavior, stalk their social media, or wait for them to change. You've separated your value from their validation. And in doing so, you've taken back every piece of yourself they tried to own. 7. Evolving in silence. Healing doesn't always look loud. Sometimes it looks like quiet mornings filled with clarity. Like showing up for yourself when no one's watching. Like rebuilding your body, your spirit, your mind from the inside out. The glow-up that scares them most isn't about money or looks. It's the one they can't see, can't touch, can't manipulate. It's the emotional discipline that refuses to spiral. It's the self-respect that no longer begs for scraps of affection. It's the boundaries that don't need to be declared. You've grown, not for revenge, but for freedom. And now, they're on the outside, looking in, unable to understand how you became this strong, this untouchable, this full of light without them. 8. Living beyond the narrative they wrote for you. They never thought you'd leave the story they trapped you in, the one where you stay broken, forever longing, forever reacting. But you did, and not only did you leave, you rewrote the ending. The version of you they tried to destroy no longer exists. In its place is someone wiser, calmer, more whole. They may try to return, to test the waters, to see if there's any vulnerability left to exploit. But this time, they find nothing to hook into. Because your glow is rooted in truth, not performance. They aren't witnessing your glow up. They're witnessing your rebirth. The power was always yours. Freedom doesn't arrive all at once. It's found in small moments. Every time you don't respond, every time you choose peace, every time you stay rooted in your truth. These choices create a life where chaos no longer has a seat at the table. The narcissist didn't break you. They revealed what needed healing, and in that healing, you've become emotionally bulletproof. Not bitter, not cold, just completely unreachable to the dysfunction that once consumed you. This isn't revenge. This is peace. And once you've tasted it, you never go back. You didn't go silent. You became unstoppable.